Hey everyone, what's up? I'm glad you could make it to the Myst stream. I've been so excited to do. The music, of course, was the theme from Myst, which I think has one of the most iconic oboe lines in any like music from a video game or just like ever. Like it's so, man, that melody is just incredible. Really, the whole soundtrack is good. It's very intense, isn't it? Um, so yeah, what's going on? Hey there, Captain Dondre, another that guy, Bort, Assassin Rain, Atris HB, Baggage Lizard, the Green Sage, Lucid Dreamcast. Thank you so much for you early viewers. How are y'all doing this evening? Hope you're doing well. We're gonna do some a little bit of unboxing first. I should have played the oboe. No, you shouldn't have. Oboe kind of is really frustrating. At least from a beginner. I'm sure once you're used to it, it's fine. But man, it's hard to play. Really hard instrument. There's two instruments in that family. There's an oboe and a bassoon are kind of the double reeds. And the oboe is really impossible just to get a freaking note out of. Bassoon, it's a lot easier to get a note out of, but like your thumbs have to handle like 20 different keys and it's stupid. So anyway, Myst. So Myst is a game, for those that don't know, that came out a little over 25 years ago and really kind of defined adventure gaming for the PC. It defined, like, in a lot of ways, like what you can do with like first person worlds and world building, I guess, in a lot of ways that just games before it couldn't quite, just didn't, I guess, hit the mainstream the same way that Myst did. So I'm really excited to play it. What was I gonna say? It was actually the best-selling PC game of all time until The Sims came out. Which, man, if it takes The Sims to dethrone your commercial success, then that really says a lot about just how successful it was. So I'm excited. Have I mentioned how excited I am? You were 4'8" when you joined band in middle school. What instrument did they put you on? Tenor sax. Try carrying that on the bus every day. Hey, they must have needed a tenor sax player real bad. You were 6'2" and they put you on alto. Myst has so much, as they say now, lore. I feel like I should say that with a ton of reverb in my voice. Hang on. Myst has a ton of lore. Ooh, that was also like pitched down all weird and stuff. But anyway. It's really kind of the beginning, not necessarily the beginning, but like one of the first really mainstream games that had a lot of environmental storytelling. So the stream is gonna kick off what is gonna be the start of a full series playthrough. So I plan on playing Myst 1 through 5, and perhaps Uru a little bit, which is kind of like a side story that came out between 3 and 5, or 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. Which was originally planned to be an online game, and then they it just failed horribly, which is a bummer. And it's still available, and you can play it and stuff, and apparently it's not bad. I've never played it, so I'm excited. This series, we're gonna talk a lot about the lore, and we're gonna talk a lot about like just the design, like of the world and the gameplay. And yeah, and just like talk a bit about like what it means to me and what it probably means to some of you too. So first we are going to do an unboxing. I actually kickstarted the Myst 25th anniversary edition on Kickstarter, which is what inspired me to want to do this. It's basically a collection of all 5 Myst games and Uru, updated for modern machines so they can actually play, and some other physical goodies, and that's why I want to unbox it. So let me first get my cam up. I ordered a camera just for this stream. I'm not even kidding. So, and I guess I can kind of zoom this in. Give me a sec. So we're going to zoom this sucker in a bit. And hopefully that should be good. And then maybe you'll get to see Harvey. So anyway, this is what you're greeted with when you actually, and by the way, I also got a good old notebook, which I actually had picked up for Return of the Obra Dinn, with a fancy like golden notes thing. So nice. And yeah, that way, because this is a series that definitely at least Riven in particular really benefits from taking physical notes. So so yeah, let's get at it. Ignore my chubby fingers. So when you first open the box, this is kind of the way it's packaged, which I think was really kind of a good choice on their end too. They could have just put it in however, and that maybe it's just a happy coincidence, I don't know. But I've got a feeling that they packaged this intentionally like that, where you open it and you're greeted with this box. It's very kind of reminiscent of like what the Stranger might have felt in the series when he finds the Myst book for the first time. Just this kind of like worn down book with the word Myst just emblazoned on the front there. So yeah, let's get this out if I can. Try not to get too much styrofoam and no receipts or anything. Kind of good. Unbox or unbag this real quick. I guess I could just take the box away completely. I don't know why I still have the box out. Myst. So, really nice looking kind of book, and it's about the size of what I would expect an age book to look like. So, really nice kind of golden label on it. It's just in a box. Yeah, I mean, it's not an actual book with like working pages and stuff. It's just obviously is just a box with compartments, but actually, I don't know if you can see, but you can, like, it actually has like pages printed on the side. And man, this is such a good collector's item. And I don't even like collect that much, but I'm really excited for this. Let me again make sure that there's nothing personal on here first real quick. Oh, it's an instruction sheet. Uh-oh. Oh shit, that's coming from the book. Can you hear that? When you open it, it actually makes this noise. Oh shit, okay. Oh man, it's so hard to see, but for me it's beautiful. So you open it, and it's an actual working image of Myst Island. And it actually stops on the dock and everything, just like in the book. That is incredible. Oh my gosh. Should I touch it? Here we go. Oh, it just loops. There we go. And I wish I could zoom in with this camera and it would be better quality. Let me just hold it really close up there, and you can see the quality of the video. It's really, really well done. Dude, if you could just play it from the book, oh my god, that'd be so cool. So, really, really neat. I don't know if you can hear it at all. My mic might be filtering it out because of the noise gate, but it's just playing the intro music. Let's see what we have, if there's anything. First couple pages. The whole game was on the screen. Oh, it's funny, you can actually see it clearer when this page is down, because it's so bright otherwise. All right, let's see if we can. So it looks like the side here has like a compartment where I guess you can change out various things. What is this? Oh, there's a cord there, like a USB cord, and a thingy that comes out. Let's see what this is. Nothing there. It's kind of worrisome. Anything underneath this? Oh, it's a puzzle. Cord, connect that to my computer. That's cool. I guess that you can interface with what the book can do or which video is showing when you open it. We're gonna put this back. Try not to bend the pages or anything too much. And really nice, like, little flappy things that you can open the drawers with. And nothing in that drawer. Just, again, kind of worrisome. But hey. Huh, I guess just to store whatever you want to store. Any other... I'm seeing if there's any other compartments or anything. Doesn't seem like there are. I'm afraid to really pull on this back. It probably doesn't have anything. I guess we should hook this up to our computer and see what it does. Man, this is like the shortest cord in the universe. Like your book just hanging from your computer tower. I think I need to get... And this is the same cord I use for my PS4. So let me just grab that one. Is this long enough? Let's see here. So this connects to here. Doesn't quite feel like it's connecting all the way. I guess that is connected. Oh, and my webcam's plugged into one thing. If I... Uh-oh. Did it freeze? No, it's good. I heard a noise. Which tier did I get? I got the maintenance tier, or the maintainer tier? Something like that. Unplug this. It's probably going to disable my mouse, but let's just do it. Yeah, there goes my mouse control. So that's no good. Myst F, choose. Select to choose what happens when you remove the drives. Well, I guess I'm doing this without a mouse, because I only have the two plugs, and one of them's connected to my webcam right now. Here, let me open this drive on the computer, and then I'll show you what's on there. F. File Explorer. Man, this is hard without a mouse. I'm not used to it. Let's see, F drive. There we go. Play folder, movie storage, extra storage, user storage. Oh God. Can I just go into the folder? There we go. Okay. Let's see what we got. Left monitor. And I can't maximize this or anything because, well, I guess I could now unplug my webcam if I didn't need the mouse, but it seems like there's some videos, so you can actually put whatever video you want there. Okay, so here's a bunch of logos and a readme. Hey, Myst fans, there are 4 folders in your Myst linking book. Play folder, movies and folder. We'll play when this book is opened. Okay. For movies that you don't want to play. Movie storage. Storage area for movies you don't want to play. 3, extra storage. Storage area for goodies like design docs and other non-movie files. 4, user storage. A folder for storing your own files. Drag movies into the play folder to play when you open the book. Movies in the play folder play in alphabetical order, and here's a link that will come in handy. All of your original movies that came on your Myst linking book are available on that link. Time for stupid videos in my stupid book. Cool. So we have a bunch of videos. Let's do... Oh man, I don't know. Let's do my favorite age of Myst, which is probably the Stone Ship age. I mean, we know it's gonna work. Oh, there's even there's even Riven ones. Riven map. Let's do Riven map. Maybe. I've only been on for a few minutes, Shiv. Any MP4 works. I could just put some hot, hardcore porn on this and then use that when I'm going to sleep. Just open my Myst book. No one would ever know. Hey, Harvey. Okay, so now... how do I play? In fact, before we play, let's see what else is here. Got some photographs. Just sound thing. Myst box. God, that's the lowest quality of... oh, okay. Myst garden. So just like some renders. Man, okay, there we go. I would say the data transfer is so slow. Some extra renders and stuff. Real Myst Sun, so that's for Real Myst. Riven box. And one of the best box arts of all time. Gen's Age Panographic from Riven. Hey Mem, how's it going? Stone Ship, here we go. Good old stone ship age. It's a very iconic age. Looks good. Read me. It's the same thing. Okay. It said there would be design docs and stuff, but I don't see it. Again, symbol grayscale. Again, stained glass. Ooh. Nice. Very satanic. My cool nerd game, yeah. It's funny because Myst is kind of like one of the original, like, wow, that is a really nerdy game if you're into that kind of thing. Have these cute boys with their gigantic teeth. How are you doing, Limes? Great to see you. Channel wood panoramic. It's a nice looking age. Very nice. You have work tomorrow? Isn't it like, it's like, what, 2 a.m. there? 3 a.m.? 1 a.m.? Channelwood Sunset. Those are probably from Real Myst. And the Village. Classic trolley-ass elevator. Let's listen to these. Oh.
You want bubbles?
Oh yeah, I want bubbles.
I'll give them bubbles.
Ugh. Why do you use a toilet for that?
Don't suck.
Okay. Some sound design there. It's a flat out. I should use that for the donation sound during the length of the stream. Let's see. I guess that's it. I thought there'd be more design doc stuff, but that's still okay. Very nice. Toilets have the best acoustics. That's true. Just bathrooms have good acoustics in general. If you're in the shower, at least. User storage, and there's nothing in user storage, so that's pretty much it. That's what the contents of the USB part of the book, which means that I can actually hook my mouse back up. Let me do that. And we can watch the videos that we chose. You like my PJs? If I can... Ugh. Christmas jammies, just winter jammies. Secular jammies. Okay, we've seen that video before. Let's wait until we see the second video I loaded on there. Which should be a video from Riven. I have jammies with a polar bear on them. Nice. I love polar bears. Did you know that polar bears are like one of the most vicious bears? Here's the Riven video. Which you missed the beautiful burn-in effect. Oh, this is on Map Island. That's why it was called Riven Map. Which all of these videos are in the actual game too. One of the most cuddly bears. That's why I said. Which most of it is focused on this dome for reasons that you'll find out in the game. Is my mouse working again? Okay, cool. How long is this clip? And that was it. So, crap. So yeah, that's can you hear it? Every time you open. Oh wait, maybe it's just when this part's open. Oh, there's a little battery icon. Kind of ruins it a little bit, doesn't it? So, yeah. Yeah, low latency mode, one of the best things that Twitch has introduced. And that's something I feel like you have a Mixer to thank for. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I want to put my hand on it and get transported, but I'm not gonna. So, yeah. Any questions about the book? It's nice. Like, just the production values are really incredible. Just the gold trim on the title and everything. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with this collector's item. I think the reason there's another box here, by the way, is because one of the tiers on this this Kickstarter had like Gen's inkwell from Riven, like with an actual like functioning pen and stuff. So I'm guessing like the empty box here is probably where Gen's inkwell was. So yeah, it's cool. All right, anyway, hope you enjoyed that really rare KY real life camera action. But we've got video games to play, worlds to go to, mysteries to solve, endings to write. Harvey cam when if Harvey was on his tower, here I guess I could get that ready for you. Get the Harvey cam ready. Hang on one sec. Here's what we'll do. Just messing my webcam here. Hopefully it won't be anything too embarrassing when I switch to it. Let me. Oh, look at that. Just nice and upside down and stuff. Okay. And you can kind of see an indirect face cam and a reflection of my closet, which has no door on it. But at least you'll be able to see Harvey whenever he finally gets up on that tower. Look out that window. Anyway, let's get the game up. Myst looks different, doesn't it? Yeah, it sure does. Here, let me minimize OBS here. Okay. Myst. Am I in a submarine? Yeah, it's a cool circular window, isn't it? It doesn't have shades though, which kind of sucks. Let me know if you can see this video, by the way. You can see. Okay, cool. Very classic opening as well. It gives me so much nostalgia. Cyan. Yeah. Which Cyan is responsible for a number of games besides Myst too. I guess before Myst, the most notable game was called The Manhole, which was like this children's exploration game that even does resemble Myst in a lot of ways, except it didn't have any objective. I think Vinny streamed The Manhole at one point too, if you wanted to check it out. And then other than Myst, they also did Abduction, which was a new game that was very Myst-like. And they're working on one right now called Firmament, which is like a steampunk Myst. So, ooh, excited for that. The world needs that kind of intro again. Yeah, it's a lot nicer than just a splash, isn't it? Is Abduction good? I liked it a lot. I would say Abduction was better than the original Myst, but not as good as Riven. So that's kind of where I do it. Abduction is Craigasm. Yeah, Abduction was super good. Like, it had some technical issues, but that was it. Like, the actual design and the world and story and everything was awesome. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. So yeah, let's play some video games. I'm gonna not talk over this intro because this opening monologue is, I hate to use the word iconic so much because I've already said it probably 20 times a stream, but it is. It's a very iconic opener. And yeah. Hey, Lucid, thank you so much for the 12 months. You did it, bro. Thank you. Or no, 21. I'm confused. 12 months in a row, 21 total. Okay. Still, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Is Myst a good video? Your streams of Abduction and The Witness were one of the best streams I've ever seen. Aw, thank you. Yeah, let's watch this intro and let's try to understand some of Atris's extremely reverbed and delayed voice here. Like, that's the most out of this world like post-processing on this monologue. I'll turn it up so you can understand it, hopefully.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
I should just do the whole stream in this voice, so it sounds like I'm Atris. and we'll play Myst. So yeah, let me turn it down now. Yeah. Really revealing monologue that probably makes zero sense even if you understand anything of what he said. Like, understand, like, literally what words he was saying. It probably doesn't make any sense. In the context of the lore, which we'll talk about, it'll make a lot more sense. But, yeah, talking about, like, how the book was not destroyed as he expected when it fell into the fissure, which is a pretty direct reference to the things that happen in Riven. And wondering whose hands the Myst book will fall into, kind of implying like that it's just gonna land in a random spot on Earth. So the idea is that you, like, whoever you are, because you're never really clearly defined, you find this Myst book, just a book with the word Myst on it, and you open it, and there's just this moving image. It's part of the book, not USB powered. And only 1 in 8 viewers are actually older than this game, me by only 1 year. So this game came out in '93. Raise your hand if you were older than this game. Beautiful. Oh, hope you get used to that sound effect. I always wondered what the point of that sound effect was. Or not the point, but just like, what is it? How did they make it? What's it supposed to be? We could even turn on transitions, which kind of make me motion sick a little bit. Oh, they're actually pretty quick. They're actually almost too quick. So, ooh, when you go forward, there's like a cool little dithering effect. I kind of like the transitions. I think we could keep them. So yeah, you're just dropped on this island. You touch the page with your hand here, and you wake up on this island. And, you know, it's basically, at the time, you had just had no idea what, like, you're doing here. It's just, you're just dropped here, and it's up to you to kind of explore the island and figure out why you're here and what the ultimate goal of the game is. Yeah, if you notice, there's like a little kind of doofy bird here flying around, which I'm not sure if even that was in the original. This is the I guess remastered edition where they upscaled it, if you can believe it. The first logical place would probably be in here, this little entryway door, which I remember the graphics being so poor, or not poor because they actually look great. I remember it looking amazing, but the resolution was so poor, and it was on such a poor monitor that we didn't even notice this door. At least when it's closed, it kind of just blended in with everything. And now, it's just obvious, you know, the fact that the game lets you look here and go into this little hot tub room. Again, wonderful music. Very dignified music. And it almost looks like a ladder down, but it just goes up a little bit. Kind of cozy, this dungeon. So you are greeted by this pool with a button. You push the button, and nothing. Just some water, and you can tell it's kind of like a holographic display. Which over here, settings, dimensional imager. So there's topographical extrusion chest. This button here, by the way, was also really hard to see back in the old days. Also, there were only like 3 people in chat that are older than this game. Oh my gosh. I feel ancient. Shame, because I'm banning anyone younger. So anyway, you have topographical extrusion test, water, turbulent pool, and marker switch diagram. So, and you hit that button and it opens this thing. So like 40, I think, beeps to let you know you did the thing. And now when you push it, instead of the water, it's showing a little topographical display. Kind of cool. Amazing graphics for its time as well. The game is all pre-rendered, of course. They spent forever rendering it. I remember reading about like how long it took to render each image and then put it into the game, and I wish I could remember. But 67, which I think if you do nothing, I guess it's the same pitches, isn't it? Yeah. I thought it gave you like a different kind of warning. Grand total of 1 year, maybe 3/4 older than this game. Okay, why don't ban me? I gave you my love and affection for all of 0 years. Yeah, thank you, Binary, for all the bits. Wait, no. It was that guy that gives me bits at the beginning of each stream. Like 10 bits at a time, he's made me rich. Oh, and this is just the water. That's the default. What else we got? We have marker switch diagram. So later on, there's a note in the game that has you counting the marker switches on the island, actually really soon from now. And I think the point of this is really just so that there's no question of what a marker switch is. You're like, what the hell is a marker switch when you're reading that note? And this really is as a marker switch diagram, so you know what they look like. So that does serve like a design function there, having a marker switch hologram, but that's all it does. It just displays that. You're 4 years older than this game, but I didn't play it until adulthood. How old were you when you played it? And here we are, the first marker switch, of course. Doesn't really seem to immediately do anything, but we are going to keep it in the up position. There's a boat to our left that's sunken. And really just typical point-and-click gameplay, I guess. First-person adventure game, which I don't think there were a lot of them up to this point. You're as old as Riven. There you go. It's about, what, 4 or 5 years older than Myst? We are going to flip these as we do them for reasons that you'll find out. And again, just seems like random and strange. Like, what are these weird gears just sitting here in these marker switches? And they're called marker switches, too, for a reason, which we'll talk about. You're 19. Wow, okay. So if you were older, yeah, that's a little ways. And we find this note, which is the first introduction of two really important characters, Catherine and Atris. Catherine, I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our 4-chamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches. Wait, hang on. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. So a message from Atris, which Atris is in this game. Catherine doesn't actually appear until the sequel. But Catherine's in the sequel, which is a nice way of tying the first game to the second. So yeah, you enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager. I actually know that number off the top of my head. It's a terrible Atris impression. I should have lowered my voice. But we'll come back once we found them all. So we found 2, and then this would be number 3. We're going to flip it. And I always wondered what this icon here was, this kind of coin. If anyone recognizes that, let me know. A dentist chair. You can sit in the chair, and you can view this thing, and you can slide its things to make a date. Set it to my birthday, which is, of course, June 17th, 4467. And nothing, just seems like garbage. The actual function of this room, when you hit this button, it turns that off, and turns out it's a planetarium for viewing stars at different dates. Which, why on earth would you need that, right? But it will serve a purpose eventually. There we go. Actually, it's funny that it's showing this because there's no way I switched to this by chance, the date that I needed, but we'll come back to that. Is it possible that you or Catherine doesn't identify you? The series never identifies you. I mean, I think that in most media that the main character is referred to as the stranger. And it's very deliberately non-gendered, never any background fleshed out, because the idea is it wanted you to really feel like you're just transported into this, and that this person on this island could be you. So your character is never really fleshed out much, which that as a kid actually bugged me. I wanted to know who I was. That's strange, but doesn't have a name, but he does have a background. Yeah, I think Uru maybe, or maybe it's somewhere in 4 or 5 actually goes a little bit into your what's the word I'm looking for? Your occupation. But you'd never get a name, and in most media you're just referred to as the stranger. To quote Zork, you are an ageless, faceless, gender-neutral, culturally ambiguous adventure person. There's actually a Zork reference in Abduction, because Zork, needless to say, was a big influence on this game, which Zork is kind of the same as this, except just all text. Whereas this actually put these beautiful pre-rendered visuals on. So anyway, continue on down the path here. The library. There's Fountain, which is not an imager, but this probably looks familiar. Hopefully some of you in chat can eyeball what this actually is here, or what it's supposed to be. To the side of the fountains, some really cool sound effect things and some buttons. Don't know what they do yet. And of course another marker switch, so that's number 4. Let's go into the library now. Let's do it. So when you go into the library, there are some books, which I think we will read some of these. Man, they're so long though. Before we do the ages, if you'd like me to read them just for like the sake of lore, I wouldn't mind. Probably take 10 minutes each or so. And hey, and this might be where you notice your first connection between different elements on the island. Because these are clearly constellations. And where else have you seen constellations? Where else have you seen this constellation? Yeah, we need to read about all the lore. So, we'll do that. Stone Ship Age. This one's about the rocks. I think this is the... Wait, the rocks. I thought that's the Stone Ship Age. Okay, this is Channelwood. And... yeah, Stone Ship. This would be Selentic, maybe? Interesting that a lot of this is erased. It's a piano thing, which, you know, that probably important. Wouldn't just be there for no reason. My least favorite age is the Selentic Age. And then this is the Gear Age. I forget what it's actually called. You might tell me. Track. Insignia of Black Ship. Which this is actually going to be the age we're going to go to first. Is going to be this one. I'm trying to try to go to order that I always went in when I was a kid. Or that my dad always went in. There's other books here, and you'll notice that they're all just completely burned up and destroyed. There's one book that is not actually... it looks destroyed, but it's not. I don't know if we can find it now. I think the game eventually tells you which one it is. Yeah, maybe I can't find it quite yet. But we might be able to later. Mechanical Age, is that all it's called? I swear it had like a more legit name than Mechanical Age. So yeah, it's a library where most of the books are destroyed. It's really, really peculiar. To the sides, you have a fireplace, you have a map. Which... the map has some markings on it, and it's not quite complete. It's got a little inlay of the dock here. It's got the gears. It's got the dentist's office, the library I'm in, and it has the fountain. But none of the other features are filled in on this island. Again, if you're really observant, you might know why. But we'll come back to that. And of course, the red and the blue books, which I can't quite seem to turn to do it. There we go. Let's check it out. So a weird little red book here. And just nothing. It's just all going to be static. But there is, of course, a page here. Nice little red page icon. And the stranger inserts it into the book, where we're greeted by this fella. Who are you?
Bring me your leg. I can't see. Need a red to us. see it. Even up. There is one thing I must rescue.
Yeah, okay. So there are a couple things that you could pick out from that. For one, he introduced himself. He said,
I'm Cirrus.
and so his name is Cirrus, and we know that. He's looking for red pages. He says, bring me the red pages. You can make that bit out. He doesn't recognize you because he says, who are you? In the beginning. Clearly not an evil man. Couldn't possibly be. So yeah, and you can open it again, and I think it just plays the same video.
Why?
It's really strange, just Cirrus reacting again to your presence in the same exact way. And then over here is a blue book. Same thing, it's just static if you open it without putting the book in. We'll put this in.
Serious?
Cirrus, is that you? He says.
Who are you? See you. You know. Help me. Bring blue pages. Never. Just... I must have the blue page. Bring them to me.
This channel sucks. So that's... His name's Akinar. I'm not sure if you actually know it from that first bit of dialogue. Yeah, and that's a good point. Who was it in chat? Dual Wield Cats said about the red book that Cirrus says, I can't see you. Which, you know, implies that it's not a clear image on your side either. But he sees something. Yeah, his webcam's kind of effed. There's a lot more to this library that we'll check out. I guess we could just stick in here, or we could explore the island some more. For one, you can actually go into the fireplace, which has a sneaky little button over here. And then inside here is a weird panel. Some strange squares, who knows. Clearly it's going to be relevant at some point. And then these strange paintings here, which this is something not everyone realized right away, but these two paintings are related. Especially when you realize that this is the same as this. It actually it emits this crazy beep noise when you click on it, which is really strange. So if that beeps when you click on it, then what does this one do? Kind of gave me some Seventh Guest vibes. Both games had a weird effect like that. And sure enough, it created the painting just over here instead, and the door behind you is now closed. So the way you get back out is, of course, clicking on that. But let's check out this this spooky path that really scared me when I was a kid. There's parts of this game... Thank you so much. Hello again, mister. 37 months. 37 in a row? Thank you. Thank you so much. This game has an atmosphere that you're never actually in danger at any point, but I still felt in danger, especially as a kid. I was also just a scaredy cat, so, but very ominous atmosphere sometimes. I recommend this game to dumb people. I think Myst is pretty tame by comparison. There's a very little logic. It's mostly just pattern recognition. Like figuring out like what puzzles are being referenced by different parts and just connecting that info. So like here we're in a tower, and when you walk around there's two ladders, one with a book and one with a key. So when you go up the one with the book, just nothing. There's nothing there. Strange. Gonna go around. Go up the one with the key, and same thing, nothing. So, nothing here yet, but eventually there will be. This is definitely not a blind playthrough. I played this, well, I started from watching my dad play this when I was a kid, and he was really into it. And I was not smart enough to beat it back then, but then years later I played through it on my own and was surprised by how easy it was. Like, it's not a terribly difficult game, if you ask me. We might beat it tonight. I mean, with the amount of time I'm spending talking, maybe not. But if I could totally rush through it. In fact, I could open it and beat the game within 3 minutes if I really wanted to. But we're not going to do that. Open the door. Wonder what the other side of the two books was like. Were they staring into books on their side? Or we're actually going to talk about that when we play Myst 4, which kind of delves into what happens when you're on that side of the book. Of course, some of the endings in this book also involve you going into those books too, so you kind of get a taste of it. Which I don't know if I want to just flat out say what happens, or if I want to keep it a surprise or what. But they do actually delve into that. So we'll keep exploring. There's a rocket ship over here in switch marker. I think that's what, number 5? If I'm not mistaken. And otherwise, can't open the door. Clicking on it does nothing. It's a random rocket ship. It's kind of cool. There's also, you can see from here, a tower with a ladder on it. I don't think you can get there from... Oh, no, you can get there from here. And you go up. Doesn't seem to do anything. It is connected to some wires, though. It will be important for a different puzzle. Revelation's kind of bad, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I haven't played it yet. It'll be my first time. And then once again, looking at that book we were looking at earlier with the planetarium stuff, you'll actually notice that the symbols here match the symbols in that book. So there's another connection between things. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Some butterflies. The stories for 4 and 5 didn't seem as good, IMO. 4 was pretty much the peak for the pre-rendered visual style. Yeah, 4 and 5 are actually developed by Ubisoft instead of Cyan, which is strange. Marker number 6, right? And a building. This dank building. The Room series of game gets very spooky later on. And kind of a power routing thing. Power to spaceship generator switches. So now you know that this powers the spaceship, and that's what this does. So naturally we want to just power up all the way, right? But you'll see if I power it too much, it drops to 0. So I've overpowered it. And now it actually won't work at all. Luckily, there's a way to reset it. So this powers the spaceship. So when you think about it logically and you go back up, if this is powering the spaceship, it needs to be connected to the spaceship. And sure enough, to the left, you'll see the power lines. So that kind of what that means is that this over here is probably a breaker switch. And you'll notice there's even a shunk sound when you first do it like that. So now, thanks to that, I can power up the spaceship again. But we don't know the number that it will go up to without the breaker tripping. So we'll have to come back. Let's see what else we got. So to the left here is this cabin, which a lot of people miss the first time they play this. Because it's kind of... You can't really see it off the path. It doesn't even look like there is a path. Like, I guess this is supposed to be the path. But it's only find it by turning. Marker switch number 7. Picture of a giant tree. There's a safe. We don't know the number yet. And like a kind of like a boiler thing. And a thing you can turn. But, of course, the boiler is not on. We'll need to figure out a way to turn it on later. Behind the cabin, again, really tough. You might miss that the first time. But if you click behind the cabin here, it goes back to this giant tree. But you can actually look up and see that this tree is insanely tall. A lot of people have missed this cabin. Oh, it's terrible. Sorry, Melty Monster. I'm gonna have to ban you for that. No terrible puns allowed, only good puns. I played with this in Notebook a while back when I first tried it. Yeah, I definitely recommend a Notebook. I might not need it for this game, but I will need it for Riven. Of course, there's a clock tower and marker switch number 8 across the way. Some things, which you'll notice actually the clock is changing time. Button, it doesn't seem to do anything. It's funny, the first time you click the button, the pixels around it change very slightly. Just watch close. It's so weird. But we don't know what time we need to set it to. So again, it's really just another like thing where you need to have the code in order to get through. And that's pretty much the whole island. Not the whole game is contained on this island because we're going to go into later levels called Ages. But as far as the main hub, that's it. Something you might not have noticed is behind this library is this tower that's up in this mountain. That's actually the tower that you take that elevator up in the back of the library. And the first thing we're gonna do is go into the library. Oh no. How many marker switches did we count? Do y'all remember? You can now access Atris's message here. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the image or retrieve the message. The number's 8. There's 8 marker switches on the island. So let's go ahead and retrieve his message. And let's see what Atris has to say.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Akinar, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return. But if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, wait, and erase this message after you viewed it, just to be safe.
Yeah, some job Catherine did erasing that message, right? She just left his paper sitting there in the middle of the path. Didn't do great. But thanks to Catherine's, I guess, incompetence there, at least it gave us some direction. So we learned a couple things from that. You'll notice he mentioned tower rotation. So there's really only one tower on the island, and it's the one behind the library. He mentioned his sons, Cirrus and Akinar, which you'll remember, of course, are the two guys in the books, the red book and the blue book. You'll also notice this dude's freaking pissed that his library was destroyed for some reason. Which, you know, I guess you got a lot of books and you like them. You get pissed off when someone destroys them. So I guess that's going to bring us back to the library now in the tower. Which now, if we view this, you'll notice it's filled out more. There's the spaceship, the cabin is on there, and the clock is not. Do y'all know what that means? Like why some of these things are on here and why some of them aren't? Really, just the clock tower is the only one left that's not on there. See if anyone can figure it out. But while I'm doing that, turns out that clicking this thing gives you the most obnoxious sound effect in the universe, followed by the word tower rotation. And And it stops automatically once it intersects certain points on the map, and the line turns red. So those are probably important nodes. So you're rotating the tower, and this circle is the tower. Other that guy got it. The marker switches are what made these things appear on the map. Without the marker switch, they wouldn't be there. So we're gonna take the first area, which is gonna be the gear here. And we are going to see what the deal is with the tower now that we've rotated it to face the gear. It's what's powered or accessible or where you went most recently. Yeah, it's actually the marker switches. When the marker switch is on, it appears on the map. It only shows the activated marker switches. Now check it out. Up here, it's literally facing where I pointed with the map. I think this aged pretty well, yeah. I think the game still looks very good, and the atmosphere is still spot on. Let's see how the other sides change. So there's a key, and we have two things. The number 240, and then a 2,2,1. Can anyone make any connections here? I, of course, know what this is referencing. But the top one is definitely some kind of time. Is there anywhere else we've seen time or seen clocks? We don't know what 221 is, I will say that. There are a couple things it could be. It could be the lock in the cabin, because there's like that little safe lock with like 3 digits, so it could be that. There is a star chart which has a time, but then we don't have a date. The clock, clearly. Yeah, see, so 92 miles, you're the kind of guy where if you played this, it's like, duh. And the game would probably be pretty easy, but it's really just about how much you can connect different concepts together. There's very little logic. It just flat out tells you the time you need to set it to. So we have 240 for clock tower, 221 for safe. So let's go test some of those out. Fun fact, Myst 5 was made using assets and story content that would have been used for Uru before its failure. Cyan had put a lot of money into Uru, and in fact was briefly defunct shortly after 5 came out, with everyone being laid off. Thankfully, a deal with Turner Broadcasting System to revive Uru for their GameTap platform allowed Cyan to rehire almost all employees. Yeah, I know what you might be thinking. King KY, I thought you were an indie game streamer. This is Myst, the best-selling computer game of the 20th century. It's not indie. Well, at least Cyan is indie. Nowadays, they're indie. I think back then they had clear publishers and everything. The first game here, even first 2 games, I think were both indie as well. It wasn't until the 3rd game in the series where Ubisoft picked it up and started publishing. And even the 3rd game wasn't developed by Cyan either. It was developed by Presto Studios, who had made the Journeyman project. But Cyan, at least they consider themselves indie these days. This game pushed the CD-ROM format, yeah. That's very true. Like, CD-ROMs weren't necessarily a big thing until this, and I guess until Doom. Well, I guess Doom, like the shareware Doom, was it on a CD-ROM or a floppy? I don't even remember. In case you forgot, it used to be known as Egg Blow, which I'm glad to be gotten rid of. Hey, welcome back, man. What do you want me to call you now? Just 92? 92 miles? I can just call you Miles? So let's see. Let's try the code first. It's funny how much I want to feign ignorance just for the sake of immersion and problem solving. I actually know what everything does, so. 221 does not open the safe, so 221 still needs to be used somewhere else. Let's put the clock. So it was what, 240? So that's 240, right? Oh, how mysterious. So some gears opened, which notice the connection there that we had to point the tower towards the giant gears, and then this bridge was made from gears. And a clock uses a lot of damn gears. We also can turn on this marker switch. More gears and a 3-digit code. Interesting. So you can probably already guess what we're supposed to put here. So this one does the bottom 2. This one does the top 2. And we need to make it say 221. So the top needs to say this, stay the same. And we're going to need this to be on the 1, but then this needs to be a little bit different. So we can do this. Top 2, 1, and we still fucked up. And once it gets too low on the left there, it will no longer do anything. So you have a limited number of moves to make to get 221. This is one of the few actual logic things in the game. So to get 221, we're going to rotate the top, and then we want to do the bottom until it's at a 3. No, not a 3, because then I do this and it'll get the 2 but not the 1. So we want to rotate this a little bit more. Ah, crap, I fucked it up. You can't get locked out. You can just reset it by doing that, and it resets everything. So the top need to be the same by the end, but this bottom needs to be the 1. So if I do this enough, maybe it will work. So we could, like, if we're going to logic this out, we could work backwards. So, like, the final move, this will have to be like a 1-1-1, and then we do the thing. Is there an easy way to just get 1-1-1? So to get 1-1-1, could keep doing this until they all match again. It just gets us back to 3, though, so we're going to need to do twice. And then keep doing this until it's all lined up. And you run out. You make the combo 1-1-3 and then do top and then bottom. So 1-3-3, right? So we can change this to, oh crap. Change this to a 1. But then if I just keep rotating this, it will never match up. So if I want 1-3-3, then I need to do it so this is a 2 and a 2 and a 1. Let's do now the top. No, because then it's not matched. Or vice versa. We need 1-3-3. Oh, that's actually close because the top 2 match if everything was, if the bottom one was just a 1. There we go. But then the top doesn't quite match those 2. Brings us back. It's okay if the bottom is a 2 and a 1 too. So like let's, because it would just need to be 1 higher. So then the top can be whatever it needs to be, and then the bottom will be fine. So like, let's do, there it's one higher, but then the top one isn't in the right position. So let's do that twice. Crap. I keep getting back to where I was. If you can find some algorithm to get all 2s and then repeat it, it'd be a solution as well. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I feel like it'd be wonderfully frustrating if the 2-2-1 didn't go with this puzzle. Yeah. That'd be true. Like, you might do this for a while, give up, but naturally this would all be tied together. So how do we rotate this but still end up where we were at the top? Because just doing it 3 times just gets you back to where you were. What did we need? We needed 1, 3, 3. It's still not good enough because it just gets me back to that. 1, 2. Do that once. I need 1, 3, 3. So it gives me 1, 1, 3. And I'm gonna run out again. I keep ending up at 3, 3, 3. There are only 512 combination of lever pulls, so process of elimination. Need 1, 2, 2. See if I had, yeah, the top, these 2 would need to be reversed there. Let's do that twice. I keep getting 2, 2, 3 instead of 2, 2, 1. You had so many lines of RL, RRL, and whatnot in your notebook, and then tried documenting all of them. 1, 2. Let's do this twice. 2, 3, 1. Ah, we're so close. We need 2, 2, 1. Is this possible by changing? Oh, you know what? There's a trick to this, and I remember it. If you hold it down, one of them keeps rotating. The middle one keeps rotating if you hold it down. Kind of bullshit, but that makes it pretty trivial, though. You hold it down. You put a 1 here. Oh, shit. Hang on. Did that wrong. So we put a 1 here. Do that. And then we do this, and we hold it down until it's 2, 2, 1. Yeah, it's kind of trolly, isn't it? And all that happened was this gear opened up. I know what it actually did. Does anyone have any theories? That's like the most interesting thing. I want to know who is like actually figuring this out or just kind of following along like, oh, I don't know. Okay, why? What did it do? But this half sunken gear opened that up. And it's got to be related to the big gears out there because that's what the tower was facing. So let's go check out the big gears. It's all connected, like in a fairly logical way. And check it out. Sure enough. And here, there's a book. Before we go into the book, like we did the Myst book, we're gonna learn some lore. I'm sorry, some
Lore.
and we're gonna read about... Is this it? No. No. Is this it? No. Here we go. The one with the gear on the cover, of course. I did stream this probably once or twice before. This is not my first time streaming this, or Riven. It will be my first time streaming Exile. I'm too relaxed to think. I'm leaving that up to you. So, yeah, let's read some lore, shall we? We are going to read through this, so just hang tight, but it is going to enhance the next stage. So, Here we go. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures, and it was. The sky here is dark and gray, and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I have met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me, there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout past the post. The people of the city had constructed the post, expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away. The sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He had said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I've decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop this enemy's plan of destruction. I'm excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea is sparked in my mind to provide the needed defense for these people. I met the remaining survivors today, and I began work on a plan for protection. After a short absence, I have returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as of yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be great help to this time, instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. Just a side note, going into this age, my dad called it the fortress. I don't know if it was because he actually read this or if that was just a coincidence, but I don't know. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. Very pleased with their intelligence and their creativity. It is refreshing to see as they work on some small projects of their own. It has been over 4 months now and construction is going well. My sons love the world except for its gray sky. They detest the gray sky and tell me many times that they wish the sky here were like the sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography. I began experimenting with on my visits to Aspermare. I will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. The holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection for all of us. Going back here, you can see the map. You can see the 3 islands that Atris is talking about. And then, of course, the fortress that he constructed. The black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched the boats leave. The insignia of the black ship. So that's what they look like. Last night we had a small celebration. The old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons didn't understand why the sky had not turned back to the original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that a blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have a healthy adventure. I have had a healthy adventure and begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. But first, I will have extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the Tide. I believe in my travels I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments that they have endured. I hope to return to the mechanical age one day to find the population growing and my fortress still strong. Though the sky may always be black, I'm confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. Interesting story. And now, needless to say, where do you think the book goes? Of course, it's going to go to the mechanical age. I love these flyover shots too. This will all be on the written test, so I hope you studied. And then it loops. Oh, and you click it and you actually get a full screen of the video. A little tour of the island, which kind of also gives you an idea of what to expect. Which is nice. Man, and it's funny now with the context of what was in the age in Atris's little journal there. It just gives a lot more meaning to the contents of the island, because I never, at least I don't remember ever really reading that in the past. So it's cool getting that background. I vaguely knew the story of the age, but I didn't like take time to read that in detail. Okay, I need to use the bathroom real quick, so why don't y'all grab yourselves a drink, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alrighty, and we are back. Y'all excited to explore the mechanical age? I know I am. Strange. It feels just so lonely. And you'll also notice, I guess the very first thing is that the sky here is not black at all. The sky here is beautiful blue, which is strange given his description. You can even see the sun in the background there. So, according to the story there, that means that their enemy has finally been vanquished, which is interesting. Because, you know, when Akinar, Sirius, and Atris destroyed the black ships, or at least turned them away in defeat, they said the sky would always remain black as long as their enemy remains undefeated. And now there's a blue sky, so their enemy must be defeated. So that's kind of cool. And this is very appropriate for a fortress. It's very kind of cold, you know. The metal textured walls. What's the name for that pattern anyway? That classic kind of metallic, like diagonal diamond pattern. And then the music here. And remember, it said the brothers spent most of their time on this fortress rather than on the island parts. And you come over here, and this is a very decadent room, isn't it? Giant freaking throne. Little curios from Myst Island. A picture of someone that hopefully someone in chat recognizes for lore's sake. Because I don't recognize who it is. I love the string line in the background here. Some colors that do nothing when you click on them, but they do light up when you mouse over them, so it's kind of cool, I guess. Anything else in this room? It's kind of hidden, but there is. If you look here, there's actually an indentation in this grate. There's booty. Treasure. A hidden treasure trove. And a note. Cirrus, your greed sickens me. Your desire for wealth and plunder is never satisfied. I will instruct my subjects not to pay your new tax, and you know they'll listen to me. Regards, Akinar. Huh. Desire for wealth and plunder. Not only that, but even Akinar talking about his subject. You know, his subjects not to pay your tax. It's almost like they think they're just rulers. I don't know if they're talking about... I mean, if it's talking about like a tax, who else would he tax other than the inhabitants of the island? So the brothers clearly came back to the island at some point. And Cirrus is apparently, you know, I think Akinar's onto something where there's just, clearly he's greedy. And what do you know? Inside here we have a red page, which we'll leave there for now. We might come grab it. So yeah, a little hidden treasure trove in what, you know, some of you might be realizing that this is actually Cirrus's room. He has got a little hidden area, you know, full of all the treasure he likes. It has knickknacks from Myst Island, which the journal even said that Cirrus, like, really, or that both the brothers really missed the blue skies from Myst. So you learn a lot about Cirrus from this room, that he really loves decadence and he's a very greedy man. At least if Akinar's note is to be believed. Doesn't it take place in 4496? What, this game? I don't know if the actual... I think it just takes place in the modern age, technically. They missed it. And, of course, the clock tower. There's also a telescope. Interesting. And I think that's it. In this room, it's purely, I think, just... Oh, wait, hang on. There's also this. I think something happens if you do it long enough. I'm trying to remember what happens. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Okay. And look at this painting, too. Behind the bird. So if that was Cirrus's room, surely Akinar is a room too, right? This is Akinar's room. Same thing, he talked about his subjects and how he is sickened by the greed, but he still sees himself as kind of like a ruler of sorts. And it's a really barbaric room. You see there's like swords and a treasure chest and a black helmet. And like some kind of animal skin. And sure enough, Akinar has a secret room of his own. Let's see what's in Akinar's secret room. It's a goddamn, like, prison. You can't hold it down, but I guess it zaps whoever's inside of it. So Akinar's seems kind of fucked too. There's the blue page, of course. Various poisons. Just a goddamn skull. So, yeah, I don't know. Should you trust Akinar or should you trust Cirrus here? They're both kind of screwed. Cirrus is all greedy and decadent and imposes taxes. What an evil man. But Akinar, man. Akinar is screwed in the head. Just torture devices and... a really state-of-the-art animation of a snake. And I think that's it here. So then this goes around and you're just really back at the entrance. That's almost all there is to it. Oh, there's one more important thing in here. And this is referenced in the diary, actually. There's this machine. Fortress Rotation Simulator. This is the holography that Atris was referencing in the journals. At least they don't eat people. So this is a Fortress Rotation Simulator. So this just snaps back to where it is. This will actually stay where I put it. It dungs. Wonder if you can do it on the diagonal. It doesn't seem like I can. I thought you could for some reason. Like you do it here. Maybe not. No, I guess you can't do it on a diagonal. So the left is really the speed of the rotation. And then you get a noise. Anyone have any guesses what the noises mean? It's just directions. That's all they are. You get a dung sound for a south. You get a spring sound for east. You get a really clean dink sound for north. And a sound for west. Kind of like a bird chirp sound, I guess. So it's dunk, spring, beep, and chirp. The 4 cardinal directions, of course. But why would each one need a sound? That's strange. Well, let me tell you. Go back here. There's a center room in the fortress with really just nothing, it seems like. Just this giant kind of pole thing. But there is a button. Let's press the button. Spooky. I hate it. And check it out. So you do this and it's rotating the gear in the center, not to mention this little icon here. So probably pretty obvious what it means. You want it to be red, and surely this is rotating to make an opening up there. Are all the folks dead? Yeah, there's no people here. That's true. There are no inhabitants on this island, as far as we can tell. So that did that. Sure enough. It opened up this center kind of elevator thing. See, the center button goes up. Doesn't even seem like there's anything here. Can you walk around it? No. You can actually look up, which is kind of cool. See the roof. Oh, and you actually can see something up there too. That will be important. Let's go down. No one says Raffle anymore. They only say Top Keck. My good fellows. Okay. Anything down? So just up, down, and then some kind of weird middle thing. And if I remember, all you really need to do is to make the elevator go down. And I think if you press the middle button, it gives you a window. Starts beeping, and you just exit. And sure enough, what do you find? The same controls from the Fortress rotation, but now there's no holography. So, if only we could rely on something else. So we'll undo the safety or whatever. Sproing. So that would be, now it's facing, what direction? It's facing east now. It's weird because there's no like grinding of gears or anything when the fortress rotates. You think there'd be a much greater effect, and there just isn't. The super small details they put in the game make the ages seem real, yeah. No, it's really just had astounding environmental storytelling for its time. So we rotated now. Nothing out there yet. But let's go out the island, and sure enough, it's going to a different place. It's going to the island to the east. We go up these stairs. And there's 2 symbols. We have 3 peaks and a sun, and a left half moon. Someone want to screenshot that, or at least write that down for me? 3 peaks and a sun and a half moon, and it's 2 symbols on the right. If you were really observant at the beginning, you also probably recognize where these get inputted. 3 peaks and a sun and a left half moon. Want to sponsor my porno parody of this game, Fist? You know, funny story about that, kind of. Funny story about fists and fisting. Yeah. Is that there is a parody of this game called Pissed. P-Y-S-T. It's actually considered by a lot of people to be the first, like, really... Oh, wrong thing. It's considered by people to be the first really, like, devout parody to a game. Or parody in game form, I guess. Parody of media. Like, not that there hadn't been parodies before it, because, I mean, look at things like Spaceballs, but at least in video games, it was one of the first real video game parodies of another video game. And it had narration by John Goodman. I'm not even kidding. I should play it. I should do a bonus stream of it when the series is done. Pissed from Parody Interactive. I still have it in Star Warped on your shelf. This were a dating sim, it would be called Kissed. Aw. If this were a Zachtronics game, it would be called List. Maybe. Sproing? Didn't go far enough. Okay, so now it's facing north. We need to make a list. Is there someone named Kevin here with a Q? Such an odd question. Oh, another thing too is remember the picture in the book of the staircase going down? That's probably this staircase here from when Atris was designing the fortress. Ooh, spooky. A man hung by the mast of a ship. And this is the North Island, by the way. Let's see what's out here in the North Island. You have the first half. You have the Cyan logo and the elevator buttons. Up, middle, or down, middle, up. So you have Cyan logo, elevator buttons, 3 peaks in the sun, and a left half moon. Surely you could remember that. Okay, so we'll remember that. And we'll go back. Go up. You should get CY to stream this, Perry. No, CY died. He died in a freak pogo stick accident. He died doing what he loved, pogoing. Of course. Alright. So let's go one more island. That's a bird noise. So now the island is facing west. So there's really not much to this island. There really isn't. There's a holograph device which lets you figure out how to rotate, and then you just rotate to get the code to the entry panel, and the entry panel just, when you do it, it just lets you leave. It just lets you go back to Myst, and that's it. There's just really not a lot here. Nothing out there other than some good storytelling in that like one little puzzle, and nothing. This island's actually gone completely, which is interesting. There was an island here in Atris's photo, I'm pretty sure. And I doubt it means anything, but I also just like the pattern above the door. Okay. And we'll rotate one more time, which will, of course, just bring us back to the main island. But we don't want to go back empty-handed. I mean, we found a blue page and a red page. And we can bring them both back, but we can't bring them both back at the same time. What me and my dad used to do when I was a kid was we would take one with us, and then we go back into the age and get the other. And I think that's how I'm going to do it during this, too, is to take both pages back with us, just to see the kind of dialogue that you get out of both books. So we'll do this one more time. And that's back to its initial position. Cool. There's also a really strong reason for visiting this age early on as opposed to one of the other ages, and I'll talk about it when I get to that age, but one of the, I guess, design flaws of this is that there's something in this age that is really key to a puzzle in another age. And if you end up visiting that age first, you're not necessarily screwed, but the puzzle is like way harder. So let's take Akinar's page back first. So Akinar is the one that's really kind of torturous. I wonder if there's a note from Cirrus in this room too. There was a note from Akinar in Cirrus's room. I wonder if he writes back or something. So I know there's this. No other notes or anything as far as I can tell. Who do you trust more? Question. That brings us back out here, where we just can input the thing we learned. And then 3 peaks in the sun. And the half moon. Because remember Atris's message to Catherine, where he says, "I suspect one of my sons." I think it was Akinar, but I shouldn't jump to conclusions. So, like, it's heavily implied that really you can only trust one of them, or that at least one of them is responsible for the destruction of Atris's library. And for some reason now they're both trapped in a book. Trust Atris's father? Yeah, about that. Kind of cool how you wake up facing the ceiling of the library. It's like you wake up on your back on Myst Island. It's also strange that with the way that the linking books work, it kind of doesn't make too much sense. Well, I guess maybe it does. Maybe if you make a perfect like copy of a linking book, it just goes to the same exact age, but any difference would lead to a parallel universe where the age is almost the same. So your choices would not carry over. But hey, I guess you can look past that for the sake of narrative coherency. So let's see what Akinar has to say now that we brought him a blue page.
He returned. He wouldn't return. They just rescue me. I'm Akinar. My brother, I beg you. To be complete. Always blue pages. Listen to him. Not listen to my brother. He's a fool and a liar. Bring me the blue pages. The red ones. Don't bring the red ones. I implore you. I've been wrongfully imprisoned. You must I will have my retribution. Please bring me the blue pages. Pages.
He's a Smeagol now. Also interesting that Atris and Akinar are the same actor, and it's actually just Rand Miller, who's, or maybe Robin Miller, I don't know. One of the two developers of Myst. Just also did the acting for Akinar and Atris. Whereas Cirrus, I think, is the other one, is Rand. I probably got it backwards. Or not Rand, Robin. So now, let's go run back and get the red page from the mechanical age. Wish I could skip. Oh, you can skip it. Just hit escape. He sounds pretty desperate, but I mean, to be fair, he's been stuck in that blue book. We didn't learn much other than he said, like, don't trust my brother. Always blue pages. Only blue pages. He says, don't bring any red pages to me. And what's kind of nice about this age is there isn't a lot of resolving to do. Just go back in. Pick up that red page. It's also strange that the blue and red pages are just scattered here. Like, I wonder how they ended up here exactly. Oh, wait. At least this age is very easy to get through again with the book, or with the page that you want. Be crushing if you didn't get to the part when you auditioned to yourself. Yeah. See if it does anything. No. Okay, let's see what Cirrus has to say. The greedy one. What's my favorite Myst age? If we're talking the original game, it's probably the not Channelwood, the shipwreck age. I forget what it's called.
Return.
Cirrus happy.
Thank you for bringing Red.
He seems a little bit more level-headed, doesn't he?
You must continue. My name is Cirrus. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must release me from this book which has become. I need more red pages, please. Beg. Don't waste time. Look. Don't touch. Brother. My brother. And I wrongfully imprisoned. Bring the red page to me.
He just gave up there. So yeah, Cirrus very largely the same. He says wrongfully imprisoned, bring me red pages, don't trust my brother. Another interesting thing to note is now the connection's a little bit clearer. Now that we've inserted 2 of the colored pages into both books, we understood a little bit more. We got a little bit more dialogue. Definitely different messages. And they're definitely reacting to us, but yeah. So that's going to bring me to the next age, which I guess we should just follow that same process. Usually I go in order here, where I go from this one to, I just go clockwise. But at the same time, this next age, yeah, I guess I should go in the order I experienced them, even though I feel like each age is worse than the last. Actually, that's not true. The second one here is the best. But then the next 2 ages after that are not great, in my opinion. So this is the next stopping point, and it's intersecting with the mast, or whatever it's called, the watchtower from the sunken ship. Let's see what has changed in the tower now that the tower's rotated. A low effort ASMR. Yeah. Funktervention instead of Funky Kong. Huh. Alright, sure enough, this is facing where I pointed it. The sunken ship. Let's see what the key is here. And also now these symbols make more sense. There's a key, like unlocking a door, and then there's a book. And now that we know that each place is a hidden linking book to a different age, those symbols make a lot more sense. And this time, again, it should be pretty obvious what this is referencing. There's 3 dates and times. October 11th, 1984, 10:04 a.m. January 17th, 12:07 at 5:46 a.m. November 23rd, 9791 at 6:57 p.m. I'm actually going to write these down. Oh, I still have my notes from Return of the Obra Dinn. Okay. Get my pen here. So we have 10, 11, 1984 at 10:04 a.m. Then I have January 17th, 12:07 at 5:46 a.m. Then I have 11:23. My handwriting is horrible. 97:91 at 6:57 p.m. Cool. So these are written down now. And I'm sure at least one of you... Yeah, there you go. Born Depressed got it. They're the dates for the dentist's office. The planetary alignment chair. So let's go back and plug those in and see what they get me. Like I said, very little logic in almost any of this. It's all just tying one thing to another thing, like figuring out what is meant for what input. Like the only logical puzzle we've really had so far is that thing with the 2-2-1, the gear rotation. And that's it. Do you think an abduction style free camera mode would benefit this game? They actually released that. It's called a Real Myst. And it definitely made the game a little bit easier. Because there's no, like, you can't just miss things like, for example, finding the big tree behind the cabin. But you gotta click in a specific spot and there's almost no indication that it's there. Whereas with Real Myst, you can't really miss it. I've been wanting a Real Ribbon for years, Lodan. Man. Real Ribbon would be incredible. I think someone was making it for a while and then it didn't get very far. Very red-orange chat right now. Yeah, anyone who is red-orange about to get banned, better change your color quick. Let's go back. Did anyone figure out this coin? What this coin means? You want to see it again? Screen cap it. Try to find it. I want to know the significance in that symbol. Okay. So we have October 11th at 1984. At 10:04 a.m. Funny how the music stops every time it beeps. So October 11th, 1984, 10:04 a.m. And here's what we got. A constellation. Anyone make out what it is? Okay. Next. It's kind of like a kite, yeah. Oh, Canada. 1/17/1207. 1/17. (12:07) at 5:46 a.m. January 17th, 12:07, 5:46 a.m. And I have no idea what that is. I guess I could just kind of draw it crudely. Maybe we'll recognize it once we know where we put these in. Okay, so I kind of drew out that constellation. And then the last one, which is 11/23/97/91 at 6:57 p.m. 11/23/97/91 at 6:57 p.m. Hey there, Parabullet. Oh, thank you so much, man. How are you doing this evening? Canada's superior country. We have soap flavored gum. Yeah, I heard about that. And then this, which I think is a beetle or something. I'm just gonna jot it. Okay, so I jotted down those constellations. You want to see my notes? Oh, I already moved my camera, but here, let me show you. I don't know if you can even make that out because I don't have the camera preview up on my monitor. With my beautiful notes. Okay. I actually did stream The Witness. It's actually all on YouTube too. So does anyone know where these get plugged in? We actually made this connection at the beginning of the game. Kinda. I mean, we at least connected the symbols on here to, oh, you know what? Here. It was in a book here somewhere. Oh shit. Someone else also might know what this is for, although you wouldn't know what number page to turn to. But we did see it. Let's see. Here we go. Constellations that match the symbols that are outside the library. So here's what we got. Snake. That's the one that I was missing. So we need the snake, the beetle, and the leaf. Snake, beetle, and leaf. And I guess we should save our game too. We haven't saved it at all. Oh my gosh. KY. Did that work? Guess it worked. Watch KY play The Witness 3 times. No way. You watched the whole playthrough 3 times? I don't know what to say. That's crazy. Thank you, though. So we'll click the leaf, turn it green. Arrow. Click the beetle or whatever. Wait, is that the beetle? No, that's a spider. Might be snake. Eye. Okay, yeah, it is. It's supposed to be a spider, not a beetle. Strange. Hello, I'm gonna barge my ass in here because I'm Middle Eastern. I'm gonna kick your ass. Hey there, Mim. Thanks for barging into the stream. And the difference here. Now the ship is above water. Sure enough, you can guess what actually changed on the island too. It's kind of funny how with the gear there was a miniature version and it opened. When this, it's a miniature ship. And sure enough, the ship is now accessible. With a linking book. Before... Uh-oh. No, can I go back? Okay. Freaking out. Before we go in, we are, of course, going to read the lore. So... Let's see. Channelwood. No. The rocks. Okay. Brace yourself, chat, for
Lore.
Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This is where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks as it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks, for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon, Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. The light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least that's the story. I was told when I thought there was a period there. At least that's the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also during the night, I catch glimmers of light from the horizon which I have not yet been able to discover if it is created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I've also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light toward the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I've decided that once the lighthouse is complete, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secure as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished, and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from the rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, then shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed that night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I've set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think of it this age as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet a new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are now many new faces that I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They're all very content, and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they have discovered. It even seems that they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be here in another 10 years. Oh look, it's the boys. That's funny, Basiliku. I was also wondering what channel you get that Chester emote from. I want to check it out. You also have a map of the Stone Ship Age. So, kind of interesting that that Atreus tries to write a boat into the age, like he's creating a boat, and then the boat is just destroyed, like the age just wouldn't accept it. I don't think Atreus has still fully realized what writing these books and writing these ages really means. Because, especially from the beginning when he says, let's see, one day we'll bring, so I don't fully understand. There was a part here that was really telling. Becoming good friends. Oh, today is the second day on this newly created age. A strange thing happened. So, important words there. Using the word created. Jokes on you, I've never watched an anime. Serious though, what's your favorite anime, Mim? As always, you need to answer correctly or you could be banned, so be careful. But I want to know. So yeah, that's the Rock Age. Full Metal Alchemist. I've never watched it, so I guess I won't ban you. Why such a weeb? I'm actually not. I'm not a huge fan of anime. The only anime I can really stomach are ones where it's like one season, 20, 30 episodes maybe, and that's it. Any more than that, can't do it. Look how much the age has sunk. Like, there's the lighthouse that Cirrus built. Strangely, the boat is still part of the rock there. I guess it just got raised up near that center rock. And this is actually my favorite age in Myst. I really like this age a lot. I like the atmosphere, I like the technology and stuff. And this age has considerably more to it than the other age does. There's, like... It's all flooded, actually. But maybe we'll find a way to get rid of the flooding. And here, same thing. It's flooding. There's a sick key animation. Which, notice that the key symbol on Myst Island matches the key that's here. There's just like a continuity in this series that's so great. Because they could have just used any key, but instead they decided to make it the key that matches that wall mural. And then the padlock, which is up here. So that's great. Flooded lighthouse. This is flooded. This is flooded. This is flooded. We can still go up to the telescope. We can even rotate this. It's interesting. I think you can actually see the relevant part of this if you don't accidentally click outside the tiny square So of course this is the relevant part. You even see a picture of it in Atris's journal. It's at 135 degrees. And then I think that's everything that's here. $135 Rember. The transitions this quick to back on the release, they were a little bit slower, for sure. So first thing we're gonna do is play with these. It's a pump, which is interesting. That means someone built this pump, and I don't think it was Atris. The first pump, let's see what it actually pumps. Lets me go down here. But there's no light or anything. Just kind of stumbling around in the dark. Really spooky room.
Spooky room.
That's cool. And then I think it just pumps one part of the world at a time. So let's see what pump number 2 does. I love that sound effect. It's a good sound effect. By the way, thanks for all the new follows tonight, guys. I appreciate that very, very much. Let's see. So this... Okay, so this pumped the central area here, which is also extremely dark. If you keep clicking, though, eventually you do get to the end, even though it is dark. And leads to a room. Huh. Where have we seen an extravagant room like this before? With murals and just decadence. Cool. There's a knife. And some drugs. Legal drugs. So whoever's room this is a drug user. I'm gonna stop playing dumb. It's obviously Sirius's room. And now we know Sirius does illegal drugs. So we can't trust him. Let's see, I think you can mess with these. I like just the little random bits of technology in the world. It's definitely a lot more arbitrary than Riven, which had very little of that, but it's still just cool. Let's see, is there anything else besides that chest of drawers? Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Off topic, would Harvey wear a cowboy hat? No, he hates everything that you put on him. He hates his collar. Gold. Jewels. Typical Sirius. Fancy china. A bunch of rolls of parchment, and I don't know if y'all have a good memory or not, but do you recognize this one here on the right? I like trying it. Okay. I didn't... no, I did play the manhole when I was really little at a friend's house. And I didn't even realize what it was at the time. I must have been like 5 or 6. And a red page. In case there was any suspicion that this wasn't Sirius's room. I'm starting to get a theory as to why the red and blue pages are where they are. But I won't talk about it yet. Not until toward the end of the game. Yeah, the black ships. For some reason, Sirius has... Oh, where is it? Where is it? Sirius has a flag matching the insignia. Not a flag, but like some kind of blanket or something matching the insignia of the black ships from the Mechanical Age. I used to interpret this to mean that Sirius was like an actual member of that pirate gang until I realized that that doesn't really make much sense. But maybe he was, I don't know, in cahoots with them in some way, or at least aligned with them. It also explains why, despite defeating the dark ships in that age, the sky continued to be dark, and they said it won't be blue again until our enemy is defeated. And now Cirrus, trapped in the red book, is essentially just immobilized. And sure enough, the age has blue skies now. Very interesting. So Cirrus had to have been aligned with that group that was attacking that age in some way. Even if it's just on a more superficial level, like that his values are like just in line with those of the black ship. So that's that. I think the other path is open now too. Just keep clicking until we get to the end. Okay. And of course, Akinar's room. Very much in line with his obsession with like skeletons and the macabre. Even has this little holography machine where death is beautiful. Animorphs. Frame 1. Frame 2. Frame 3. Frame 4. And what do we have in Akinar's chest of drawers? Got some kind of map. Another map. Another map. It's nothing but maps. Why does Akinar have so many maps? Ooh. And a new type of page. Marker Swit. Isle. The vault is low. The Isle of achieved very instructions are each of the marker turned every one of on position. This as the final step there to the it all makes sense now. This is actually important, and normally I would actually jot this down. But, you know, I already know what the full message is, and I'll just recount it when we get to the relevant point. And, of course, another map. Akinar is a fucked dude, to say the least. I mean, he made this game. He doesn't even hide his blue pages. Disgusting. Let's take the blue page. I think that's it. It's also more poisons. Otherwise, not much else in this room. A lot more bare. It's just a disgusting bed. The most disgusting bed I've ever seen in my life. You know, it's probably just disgusting because we just drained all the water from it. But that doesn't even make sense. Well, no, because the door is like sealed tight. I don't know. It's just gross. It's a prison bed, maybe. Okay, we're gonna go back up. Now let's do pump number 3. Which of course leaves us only one place, and it's this here. So this room's all pumped. And sure enough, we have Harvey. Can you hear him? I never know what my noise gate picks up and what it doesn't. Hey, buddy. Maybe I can capture him on auto-tune. Hang on one sec. Harvey. Oh, you know, auto-tune won't work because there's no music. Need some music. Oh, there is no music, just water sounds. Never mind. Anyway, so we have a chest here, and this is also locked. And a conspicuous valve. This is where, like, logic does come into play a little bit. So there was water in this. Now we close the valve. And, you know, you could probably put 2 and 2 together. We unpump the room. And the chest is now floating. So let's just use the key. Leads to another damn key. Thus solving the impossible puzzle of the key that's screwed to the floor. Being separated from its padlock. Harvey! And this leads to a battery. You can actually see the level of charge on the generator. And this is going to power the central... It powers a couple of things. It powers the lighthouse, and it powers some lighting inside the island. And it's okay, you can just go to flat out max, and that's fine. That's actually all there is in this room other than the view. So we're going to go back down now. It's a minor detail, because you can really just tell what it's like trying to show from this without it. But now that we've done that, if we go all the way over to the lighthouse, you'll actually see that this is blinking. Just to kind of really drive home, hey, this is important to the player. 135 degrees, which we'll figure out why that's important in a sec. So we're going to go down. Now this is actually lit, which is cool. If you hadn't just realized you could just click through the darkness, then this is kind of your guide through. If it wasn't just straight, you know. There's also on the left here a hidden door, which is very easy to miss and one of the annoying parts of this game, but hey, it is what it is. To a really, really cool room here in the middle of it, and a compass rose. You can probably already guess what I need to click. So like if this is 180 and each of these is 5 degrees, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Wait, am I doing? No, it's 10 degrees each, right? So 10, 20. Well, no, it has to have a 5 because 135. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 of these total. 90 is the right angle. That's right. So there's 32. And, you know, I think it's just not 360. It's not like our map. How many were there total? Hang on. Let's go back up for a sec. I don't think they measure things by 360 degrees like we would. No, they do. Well, in any case, we need 135. I got turned around. Didn't mean to. Damn it. The heck? $90 plus 45 is 135, so 90, 45, so it's like right here. And sure enough, some lights turned on. Yeah, good call, Wing Winder. And there's actually a path that continues on to the other route. So now we've turned on some lights, and you'll notice this light is on now, because you might have asked yourself, like, what did that actually do? It just turned on some more lights. So now we go to the only other room that was dark. But now, it's actually lit up. Wow. Amazing. And you get to see this really gorgeous room. I wonder if maybe this would be considered Atris's room. If Atris had a room. Where there is some decadence, but it's not... Or it's very elegant, but it's not decadent the way that Sirius's room is. A random table. This is also kind of cheap because there's no explanation for it, but you click the empty table, and a book just kind of fucking morphs out of the table. It's kind of dumb. And that's kind of like one of my big gripes with Myst, is that there's a lot of really arbitrary things that you need to do. Like, there is a lot of logic behind it, and there is a lot of explanation for that logic in the world. But then there's stuff like this where it just doesn't make any sense at all. But what can you do? So we'll do the same thing. We'll bring the blue page back to Akinar, red page to Sirius, and we'll see what the dialogue gives us. All right, Akinar's new dialogue.
Ah, good. Still more pages you find. Bring more. I must have some more. That's all I ask of you. Long. It's so long since my brother, Sirius, wrongfully imprisoned me within this book. Stupid schemes.
I love the way his face distorts there when he gets really mad.
Pretty speech. Greed, which is endless. It should be perfectly obvious to you. He's done evil and he has destroyed all before. Do not bring the red pages to him. Not let him trick you. He believed you. He tricked our father. Hideously murdered our father. He'll trick you. He'll murder you. Don't touch the red pages. I beg you to bring the blue pages. To me, listen, you must obey me. Blue pages are my only hope. You must help me. You must help me.
Notice his language there. You must obey me. Not like, you know, like you need to listen to me, but obey me. That's such a strong word choice there. And same thing where in the mechanical age, how it, Akinar flat out refers to his subjects. Like, my subjects will not pay your tax, Sirius. Like, he's clearly, like, a dom. So yeah, now let's go get the red page. Did he say help or obey? I heard, oh, I think he said both. He did say help me at one point, but then he said you must obey me. Like, he definitely says that too. He also claims that Sirius brutally murdered his father, which is really interesting, especially when you know the ending of this. If someone could remind me to revisit that dialogue, because it's also very telling of, like, Akinar's plans too. Anyway. Oh yeah, we gotta pump the crap again. Luckily this age also doesn't take much. We'll go down to get the red pages. Red page. And do I need to light this up again? I might. Probably do. Here, let's just go back down. Oh, you know, we won't be able to see it until we... maybe they'll just already be lit up. Let's just try it. That'd be nice if it was. Oh, you know what? It's the wrong... We did the wrong thing. Did it stay lit? It did not stay lit, so we do need to redo a little bit of this. So let's speed run. Go here. Oh, that stays undone, interestingly. Oh, you know what? Even the key is... Okay. Huh. Weird. And that's probably enough, maybe. It is actually timed, too. Okay. And now we can just pump that. Spleen. Spleen. For some reason, when I read the word spleen, I read it in the sound of this sound effect when you link into a world. Spleen. Doesn't sound anything like that, but hey. All right, let's see what Cirrus's new dialogue is. This game got a DS port, yeah. Apparently it was horrible too. All right, Cirrus, what you got for me?
Have returned. Additional page. Leave from my prison on this forgotten island of Myst. I see that you are. I am called Cirrus.
How many times do you need to say that?
I need all the red pages. I know. Must search and bring 2 more for the red pages. I am released. I promise. Don't touch the blue pages. That is where my brother. For my wicked brother.
I'm acting.
He is a man of distorted mind and senses. He disgusts me. He disgusts me. Do not release Mackinac. Thirst for destruction is not. Never ending. Bring the red paper. May you please release me from this prison. I promise you will be greatly rewarded. Must help me. Help me.
Again, kind of projecting his motivations onto the player, where he's like, if you release me, you'll be greatly rewarded. And it's, yeah, that's very, very Cirrus of him to say. Very sneaky and manipulative, too. Whereas Akinar is just like, obey me, you know. So, just I love the personality difference between the brothers. It's great. Let's see. 11 o'clock. I do need to get up early for work tomorrow, and at this rate, I probably won't be done for another hour and a half, 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna need to head out now. Tomorrow, I think we're doing movie night on the Discord, so probably no stream tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's movie night. I think I'm gonna do that. But I'll come back and stream on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we have a couple things on the docket. It's my day off, so I should hopefully get a nice, girthy stream for you. And what we'll do is we'll stream Hypnospace Outlaw, which is the new game from the creator of Dropsy. I'm very excited for. And then we'll pick up Myst again. We'll probably finish Myst, because Myst is not a long game. We're definitely about halfway done at this point. So we'll do the remaining 2 ages. We'll do the ending. And I would like to kind of transition straight into Riven. Maybe. It would just be good to go Myst right into Riven in the same stream, because there is a really direct connection between the two. Or, I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hey, thanks for all the new follows. Thanks for the resubs and subs. Really much appreciated. If you want, you can always catch me and catch us in this wonderful community on the Discord. So I'm going to drop that link in chat. We should probably save our game. Let me save here. Hang on. I don't know why I'm showing this, but just so you know I did it. And let's save a 3rd time, just to be safe. Okay. And I think it's gonna wrap that up, and watch this really ominous credit sequence. Notice they spelled Dunny D-U-N-N-Y for those who are already into the series. There's also a Ryan Miller. I wonder if he's related to Robin and Rand. Unless Rand is Ryan or something. Photoshop, Premiere, Illustrator. All these people that worked on this game. I take that back about it being indie. Oh, that's right. It was published by Broderbund. Forgot about that. They're known for the making like the learning company games, I believe. No, I'm getting all this confused. Oh well, forget I said anything. I'm gonna head out. Thanks for watching. And we're also, let's see if there's anyone good that we can host too. So we're wrapping up the stream. Let's host. Oh man, it's between Mono, who is streaming shortwave radio listening, just totally up the Myst alley, if you ask me. Or we could watch Direboard play DMC, Devil May Cry, which is a funny choice, all things considered. Do y'all have any preference who we host there? Kind of want to check out this shortwave radio listening shindig, so let's host Mono, and I'll probably see you over at his stream a little bit before I go to bed. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.